we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Good evening, everybody. A December 29th edition of Let's Talk Jets following a complete debacle against the Patriots. And this is going to be an interesting show, Bubs. I don't think you've experienced one of these yet with me because I have been broken now. Now you're going to see the other side of how we handle Let's Talk Jets because I'm completely fed up. But before we go into that, how was your holiday, man? How are you feeling?
Yes, Tyson, great to be back on. Had a very good holiday. Hopefully you and everybody else in the chat had a good holiday. But yes, looking forward to getting into this show because this is a complete disgrace on every level. Such a clown show organization from top down. Yeah,
so 100%. So, I did a post-game video yesterday and apparently it went viral on a couple of different social media platforms. I'm getting all kinds of feedback and everything else. But I just want we got to recap how we got here because I understand tanking. You understand tanking. You understand how we go about it. This is bigger than losing the game to the Patriots. This is the cumulative assessment of Aaron Glenn's tenure as a Jet. So let's go way back, Bubs. Let's go way back to when the Jets were looking to hire a head coach. And as a fan base, we were united, which is very rare. You do not want a first-time head coach because this job will chew you up, spit you out very quickly, and expose you if you're not good at your job. We all said that. We all wanted an experienced head coach. The Jets said, you know what? We know better than you do. This is our guy, former player. We all embraced it. I personally, Aaron Glenn's one of my favorite players of all time. Loved him. I said, please don't take this job because I don't want to hate you. Well, here we are with that. But we said, okay, he comes in with all this bravado. We're built for this shit. He had this fire, egging on the media, trying to pump up the fans. Our brand of Jet football. We're going to be a team that you can be proud of. All of that stuff, right? Proud. Now, fast forward 4 months later, he is timid. He's defeated. He's deflated. He's humbled. He's talking like a mouse in the press conference because he's in over his head and he has no answers and he looks foolish. But let's go back. They go out. They move on from Aaron Rodgers. We all understood it. No problem, Aaron Rodgers. You're gone. Salary cap. I want my voice. I want to build my culture. We go get Justin Fields. Okay. Reclamation project. But they arrogantly talked about we're going to bring him back to his Ohio State days. We're going to build our offense around him. We're going to maximize his potential. We put the freaking camera on his head. We did all these things. Completely failed. Completely failed with Justin Fields to the point that Aaron Glenn didn't know how to even pull him out of games. He should have been benched at halftime. Didn't do it. Doubled down on him. Tripled down on him. Didn't hold him accountable until it was far too late. He failed there. Okay, that's a problem. But you know what? What else does he do? Look at the offense. Easily one of the worst in football. Still don't use Breece Hall correctly. Garrett Wilson, not used correctly. Mason Taylor, not used correctly. The offense has been a bona fide mess. You see some good things in the offensive line? Okay, fine. But all of us said this team should be decent on defense because they have a lot of playmakers. This is universal. Quincy Williams, Pro Bowl linebacker. Quinn Williams, Pro Bowler. Sauce Gardner, Pro Bowler, right? Jamie Sherwood, $15 million a year. All these different guys. Will McDonald, rising star. Jermaine Johnson, rising star. All this talent on defense, and they were historically bad. They couldn't tackle. They couldn't stop the run. They still don't have an interception after 16 games, which is remarkable. They are gross on defense. So, okay, let's recap. Offense, nothing improved. Nothing got better. Defense, all your players actually got worse. Okay, what were the expectations going into the season? Everybody said, we're not talking playoffs, 5 or 6 wins. But as long as you show improvement throughout the season, towards the end of the season, where we see the identity and culture of this team, we'll feel better about it. Not only are they not getting better, they've gotten worse. Culture, what is your culture? Your team quit yesterday. Yep. They quit. And you know what's even more alarming is they're all young players, dude. These are guys that are playing for contracts, playing to make the team, playing for next year. They're quitting on you to the point that your heralded leaders, Jermaine Johnson, are like, yeah, man, Jermaine Johnson's checked out. Breece Hall's checked out. These guys don't care anymore. They're all checked out. And now you say you're heading into week 7, week 18, whatever it is. The Jets aren't going to win the game. They're going to get destroyed by the Bills. Yeah. And you say, okay, tell me what Aaron Glenn has done this year to warrant coming back. Because the NFL is a results business. We don't care about what you talk about. It's about what have you done on and off the field to make this organization better after 1 year. The only thing he's done is improve special teams. Everything else is either mediocre or bad. There's nothing good. There's nothing to hang your hat on. What is his selling point, Bubs? Tell me what it is, because right now I'm done, and it's a one and done for me.
I'm right there with you. He needs to be fired. Woody Johnson and the Jets need to be proactive as opposed to reactive, which they usually are. And instead of kick this can down the road with a rookie quarterback and screw him up next season, we're going to be in the same spot next year. He's not any good. He's awful. This is Gase Kotite levels bad.
Yep.
Gase Kotite didn't even start 0-7. He's the only coach in the NFL to start 0-7. And you made so many great points, because the biggest thing I'm sick and tired of hearing, oh, well, they're tanking. They wouldn't be tanking if they didn't start the season 0-7. And if this team is so poorly coached, the defense wouldn't have regressed. He talked so much about all offseason, we're in a win now mode, better coaching, right? Last year, they had 6 fourth quarter leads blown. They had 137 penalties, which led the NFL. He talked all offseason. This coaching staff, specifically with guys like Will McDonald, who you mentioned, he's gotten worse. And even Justin Fields, potentially the biggest one given the quarterback, about, Pittsburgh and Chicago, he wasn't coached right. Yet he went 4-2 last year as the starter in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
This season, he played his worst football here. It's a complete joke. It's just, he's so lost. And then to hear him today, come to his press conference yesterday, talk about how they didn't show effort, and then come out there today and talk in his press conference that effort wasn't a problem. And his reason behind it was guys were running on and off the field and things like that, and guys were fighting. You didn't see them give up. They were still winning their reps.
It's a joke.
It just shows he's lost. He's backpedaling. His hamstrings must hurt from backpedaling so much, because that's all he's done. We went from win now, this is a team that I want fans to be proud of, to, oh, I never said that. That's what my long-term vision is. And the only reason you can believe in this coach is hope. There's nothing he's shown you. He's a first-timer. It's not like in previous destinations this has worked out. It's not like he's got a plan that worked out in previous destinations. It's a complete joke. The staff, as this comment says, the staff is a joke. You're already seeing holes on his coaching staff. He already fired the defensive coordinator. The defense still stinks. And when they had talent, when they were still healthy, they went 0-7. So this whole mindset of, oh, well, they traded away Sauce and Quinn, and that's why they suck. They were 1-7 with those guys. Jamian Sherwood's gone worse. Quincy Williams gone worse. All these guys have gotten worse. It's such a joke. And where's the accountability? There's none of that either. This guy, he is so lost. And I think a lot of people, given that he is a franchise legend, don't want to give up on him. Take that out of the equation. If this was just another guy, like, it's a disgrace. And this incompetent owner won't do anything. And I'm telling you, we are going to be sitting here next year with a rookie quarterback that stinks, with an offensive coordinator that's probably going to be in over his head, and with a head coach going to be on the hot seat. And here's another question. Who's going to want to take this DC job? Because now you have a head coach that's on the hot seat. And we all said it. This was all too predictable, Tyson. We said it. They can't hire a first-time coach. It's not going to work. And what do? They hire a first-time defensive coordinator, because this idiotic owner doesn't know what he's doing. And this coach doesn't know what he's doing. This staff doesn't know what he's doing. It's a joke. It's a disgrace.
All the New York Jets are doing right now is delaying the inevitable.
Yep.
Because this time next year, we're going to be like, well, we need a new head coach. Hopefully we didn't destroy whatever quarterback we have. But there's a lot of levels to this now. And the one thing is like, well, he can't be a one and done. Well, why not? Well, because I don't give a fuck about Woody Johnson's money. I do not care about it. That's a Woody Johnson problem. He's a billionaire.
And he just bought a soccer team for what, $225 million or whatever. Believe me, he could swallow the 10 or 14 million that Glenn is making. Like, and what's the difference? What's the difference from firing him this year and 4 years left on his contract, or firing him next year, which is going to happen because he's not any good? 3 years left on his contract. Like, I'd right there with you. That's a disgrace too. The whole money thing. This owner's got money all over the place.
And the other thing too, it's like, you got to look at the big picture. To me, like, you can't just say, trust me, I have a plan, because this plan should have started 4 months ago. And we should be starting to see some of the fruits of your labor. Like, all right, well, listen, I can see you're doing this. I can see there is no offense identity. There's no defensive identity. You're basically, this whole year is a wash, a year of nothingness. And that's not acceptable, because you're trusting this guy to rebuild your organization. You let him fire all the sports nutrition guys. They're gutting out everybody and putting in all these new personnel and saying, okay, we're going to trust you to do what? Completely gut it out and rebuild it. And he's never done it before. And when he had a chance to show what he can do, he's failed miserably. So now we're going to say, okay, you know what, Aaron, we're going to give you a redshirt year. This first year, which is a complete debacle, we're going to ignore that. We're going to hand you a top 3 pick. We're going to hand you 2 first-round picks. We're going to hand you $90 million in cap space, all these great luxuries. And we're going to say, please do the right thing. For what? Why? Why is he begin this opportunity? You're going to regret it. He's going to do it. And this time next year, like, man, we should have fired him last year. No shit. The same thing we said about Saleh. Saleh should have been fired a year earlier. Aaron Gage, Jet fans, we know we know bad coaches when we see it. So we've seen it so many goddamn times. And the thing is, stop talking about tanking. I know the Jets are playing Brady Cook for a reason. It's bigger than that. Take your head out of your ass and understand what you're seeing. This team is not improving anywhere. Your best players all across the board have regressed. That's it. Breece Hall not going to be back. He's already back here. You have Breece Hall playing in a game when they're down 30-something points in the fourth quarter. That's asinine. Yeah. It's ridiculous. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. And for him to backtrack today is the icing on the cake. Because that means somebody said, you know what? Don't question our effort, coach. Oh, no. It's not you guys. It's me. He backtracked today. It's like, you're spineless. That little hard-nosed coach back there, that hard-nosed coach is gone. You proved you're in over your head, and this job is eating you alive, and you need to be relieved of your duties, period. Because we know how this is going to end. We know the ending for this.
Yeah. You're spot on with that about now all of a sudden he's soft. Now all of a sudden he stepped back. Remember Glenn in the offseason was kind of cocky, kind of confident, or had all those battles with the media. It's just like Saleh with the all gas, no break, all that tough guy mentality. Right. Now he's stepping back and, oh, the effort was fine. Everything's okay. It's not okay. You know, big ships take slow to turn, all this nonsense.
Garbage.
You're spot on. And that's the second time now. This clown had Braylon Allen in the game on kickoff against Miami and got him hurt. And then he's got Breece Hall out there down 30 against New England in a meaningless December game, and he gets in the injury. It's a joke. It's a complete disgrace. And again, like you said with the tank crowd, we wouldn't be in this situation if they didn't start 0-7. The whole goal of this year from week 1 to week 18 was to see progress. And the whole tank thing too, right? They separated the Rodgers cap hit across 2 years, and their mindset was so we could competitively retool and still be able to spend some of that money and allocate resources to this season. If they were all in on tanking, they would have eaten the Rodgers cap hit in just 1 year. So this whole tanking mindset is because this coaching staff sucks and they realize, oh crap, this season's a disaster. Let's get something for these players. And then they started tanking. They had to adjust on the fly. We're going to trust this coaching staff to turn this thing around. It's a disgrace. It's a complete disgrace.
Here's an idea, dude. Don't watch the show. Go start your own channel and go watch that because you're clueless yourself, bro. Just don't watch. Your problem is
please. And I hope I'm wrong, but
I can give two shits.
And I want to see all these people that have all this hope right now. I want to see what they say next year on December 29th.
And the thing about Breece Hall is Breece Hall wants out. Breece Hall does not want to be here. Also, Breece Hall's lost a step. Yeah, he looked good. He's not great. So if he wants to leave, he can leave. Jermaine Johnson wants to leave, he can leave. They can all leave, dude. I don't care anymore. They're all part of the problem. But the bigger issue is this. Aaron Glenn and their staff had a hard time luring coaches and players here this year in their first year because first-time head coach, don't know what they are, coming off of losing, all this chaos, all this losing. Now you're going to add a 3-14 record to what people already think about the terrible Jets. As a free agent, because that's the first thing comes up, who in their right mind is want to come to the New York Jets under a coach that's going to be on the hot seat, a team that never wins, has no offense or defense? Who's going to want to come here? Absolutely nobody. And that includes the jet tax. Furthermore, you nailed it. This is my point. Everybody's like, oh, go get Jim Schwartz. Go get Jim Leonard. Why will these top defensive coordinators want to come here when there's a very good chance that coach can be fired in a year? They're going to want to go to an organization with a lot more stability, a lot more success, a lot more continuity, everything else. They're not going to want to come here. So it's a great, we're going to go get Malik Willis. We're going to go get Jim Leonard. It's not happening. The Jets are not a desirable location when you have a coach here that's in over his head. Players know, coaches know, everybody knows the story of the Jets. 15 years, no playoffs, 10 years, no winning seasons, all this bullshit. It's not going away. It's getting worse. And they have that label, same old Jets, and Aaron Glenn has added more gas to the fire. That's all he's done. He's improved nothing. He's made it actually worse for the organization.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at all these other teams with limited talent and things like that. They're still playing hard. Whether you look at a team like the Saints or even the Titans, like they're still in games. They're still playing hard. The Jets, you don't have any of that. And I'll also throw this out there too, in terms of, the DC, that obviously it's going to be tough to bring in anybody here.
Yep.
Is it fair to say, and I didn't witness Kotet, of course, I was too young, but this has to be, at least in my lifetime, even the 2-14 team found a way to screw up and win some games late. But this team, top down, in this horrific franchise's history, where there is a lot of bad teams, has to be arguably the worst. And this coach is right there. Honestly, like even that, this is like 3-13 Kotet, 1-15 Kotet type garbage and Gay stuff. Like we saw everybody, and Gay's won 7 games in year one.
Yep.
Everybody called for Gase to be gone. What did they do? They brought him back. We all called for Sal to be gone after 2023. What did this loser of an owner do? He brought him back for 5 games. He won 3 games, and they're going to bring him back. When you look at all these other teams that turn it around, like what's with these 5-year plans up? Trust me, year 4, it'll work out.
Yep. It's
only been 15 years, 10 years without a winning season. It's only, we could take another 15, Woody.
No, and the thing is, this is the, to be fair, Glenn doesn't have a quarterback. Well, first of all, he brought in his quarterback and he failed with that quarterback. Yep. He also failed to build around that quarterback. Yeah, he handpicked him.
30 million guaranteed.
Gave him more money than anybody was going to give him, and they were bold and arrogant about it. And their whole approach put a premium on coaching. Trust us, all these young players, all these mid-tier free agents, we're going to coach these guys up, and they completely failed doing it. Yep. These are just facts.
Yes.
Stop making excuses for this team.
And he talked all about competition. He'll never criticize Justin Fields. Never criticize Justin Fields. Talk about competition with Joe Tippmann, all these other guys. He'll pick on Brady Cook. He'll never criticize Justin Fields. He'll go into the press conference, talk about it. He's got to watch the stupid tape, and he feels he did some good things. He's lost. He's so in over his head.
But the thing is this. And see, I'm old enough. I had season tickets during the Kotet years. That's how old I am. And people, oh, bro, it's not as bad as Kotet. You're right. It's actually worse because right now we can't identify building blocks. We don't know what we even have. What the saddest thing is, Membu showed more pride as a rookie than half these goddamn veterans did. Membu actually cared more. Isaiah Williams actually cared more than guys that have been here because you know what? All these other guys do is look, they're just used to losing. Well, change the names, we're still get the same results. They're all part of the problem now. And this is what Glenn's fought. This is his culture. What culture actually changed this year? There's no culture. It's losing and justifying it and becoming a shell of yourself. That's what he's done. I think you froze, Bubs. Oh my God. Let's go. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, Tyson, how you doing? Or hanging in there?
I'm fed up with this team, man. I'm so fed up with this team. It's driving me crazy.
Okay. Well, to show you how old I am, I actually watched Super Bowl III, and that was the last time the Jets had a decent owner. His name was Sonny Werblin. Leon Hess knew how to do it, but Leon Hess was a real cheap tightwad.
Well, Leon Hess got Bill Parcells though.
Well, yeah, because he got desperate, and he got Parcells because he wanted to sell a team, and that was one thing that actually gave me a sense of satisfaction when Bill Parcells coming up short. It was like when Leon Hess was on his deathbed, he decided he wanted to do something. And he put Jet fans through all sorts of stuff, and it's like now. It's like Woody Johnson. He doesn't have a clue of what he's doing. And I don't know if you picked up on this morning, having to do with Aaron Glenn's press conference. He was walking back some of the stuff he was saying yesterday.
It's embarrassing.
Having to do about he said that the team wasn't performing yesterday, and the reason why. He comes out today and says that stuff because I'm willing to bet that there's a mutiny brewing in the locker room.
Well, but what kind of leader are you? If you can't call out your team for a piss poor effort, what kind of leader are you? To backtrack today, you come off timid and soft. You're not the hard-nosed guy you portrayed you are. You're in over your head. It was like he looked so defeated yesterday. Like, wow, this job is really eating me alive. And today he just put an exclamation point on it. That's all he did. He's embarrassing himself.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I wanted to bring out is, why isn't no one talking about this 33rd team that they went and hired last year to do this hiring? I mean, because when I looked at this whole thing, if you take a look, having to do with the Saleh and Joe Douglas era, they came in and they hired a first-time head coach who came from a defensive background, had no experience on offense, brought in offensive coordinator that was the kid brother of Matt LaFleur. And I mean, he was, he wound up was in over his head. And now you take a look at this regime they brought in, and it's the exact carbon copy. You got a first-year head coach from a defensive background. I mean, you've got Tanner Engstrand, who's never called plays before, just like Mike LaFleur. And it's like, people are surprised you're getting this, the same results.
It was all predictable. We talked about it. First-time head coach, first-time offensive coordinator, the quarterback coach is a running back coach, first-time offensive line coach, and Steve Wilks, a defensive coordinator that was one and done all throughout the NFL and was out of the NFL last year. We questioned all the moves, and we said, Aaron Glenn better know what he's doing because this could backfire. And guess what it did? It backfired. You're going to be 3-14, and you've lost. Like you set this organization back. You're actually making it worse.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, one other point to the 3-14 record. Actually, they're more like they're going to be it's actually 2-15 because one of those victories that came about from the special team scoring 2 touchdowns. So I mean, if you're relying on your special teams to score touchdowns in order to win football games, that just shows you, in what sort of shape they're in. So, it's something that, I mean, it's rather interesting because some fans wind up giving these guys a pass, especially. I don't see why people love Saleh so much because, I mean, if you take a look at that game last night, it was a fun game to watch. But the thing is that they went and gave up 38 points. I mean,
they have a lot of guys out, like Bosa's out. But the thing is, even as bad as Saleh was, you saw certain things like, all right, we could build on this. You could see, okay, maybe the defense is going to get better. Literally nothing got better on offensive defense. They actually all got worse. You know how hard it is to do that? Like, even just think of no interceptions at all. Not one interception. Like, these are things, like historically bad things that just don't make any sense.
Yeah, and if they go through next week and like that, they will set an all-time NFL low record. I mean, no team in the NFL has ever done that. Gone a whole season without a single interception.
And their response is, you know what? Trust me, bro. We know what we're doing. What exactly? How can you can't tell us? You have to show us. This is the New York market. Like we know you told us what to expect. You did not deliver it. And now what? Now you have to own it and stop with these little, well, I have this plan in my head. I don't give a shit about the plan in your head. All I see is losses every week.
Yeah, exactly. And again, with the situation going on now in the locker room, this is what I would like to find out. Like I said, it's something that I think that the situation is really bad. And it's something, Woody Johnson may actually be forced to can this whole entire operation and start again, depending upon what happens inside that locker room next week.
Thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a crazy season, man. This is just completely nuts to me. I'm trying to get Bubs back on. Where the hell is Bubs at? All right, let's go to Afram. What's up, man?
What is there to talk about?
I mean, this is as bad as it could possibly get, man. It is. It's as bad as it can get.
And it can get even worse.
Yeah, it can get worse by bringing it back next year. That's how it can get worse.
This right now, if we know we're losing the last game. Yep. If the Giants beat the Cowboys, which is possible because Kafka wants to go off on a high note because he's going to try to win his job.
And Dak may not play.
And Zach may not play. We move into 2.
Yep.
That's one thing that has to happen. Second thing that has to happen is Moore has to declare in the draft.
Yep.
So now we have what now? You have 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, 3 in the following year. Right now, if that happens, it is the most enticing time you can lure a head coach in.
100% agree.
Okay. When you lure a experienced head coach, he can lure experienced coordinators.
100%.
He can lure good free agents.
Yep.
I don't know what this owner's going to do. This has to be the most. Thank God his father made money for him because he's a moron, and I hope he's listening. You have done nothing since you've come to this owning this team.
But Ephraim, to your point, this is equivalent way back when the Jets went from Kotite to Parcells. They needed a true, legitimate football savior to save this organization. Parcells brought in instant credibility, instant respect. Guys wanted to come here, coaches wanted to come here, and he had it. You know, like right now, Aaron Glenn's got none of that other than trust me, bro. And nobody's going to trust him and nobody's going to believe in him. And as a Jet fan, how do you sit here and say, I want Dante Moore and I want Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand to develop them and groom them and get the best out of them?
Charles London.
In Charles London. Or like they couldn't do it this year. Like you've already failed once and now you want to give up your top prospect to him?
You know that Engstrand wasn't his first choice.
Nope, it wasn't.
Actually, it was his 4th choice.
And what does that tell you?
3 other guys didn't want to come.
But the thing, but to your point, though, this is the best time in the last decade that you could say, you know what, the Jets, if Woody Johnson and Eddie Balls, you can tell Harbaugh or Tomlin or Stefanski, whoever you want, listen, we have all these picks. We have the number 2 pick in the draft. You want Dante Moore? He's your guy. Do whatever you want with it. The reason why coaches didn't want to come here last year, because the Jets had no quarterback to give them. What are they going to give them? Justin, like there's no options. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, like this is your year to do this. And the Jets won't. This is going to, you Bubs, you're so right, dude. We're going to be having the same conversation next year. Like, man, here we go again. And now you're going to have, just in theory, Dante Moore in 1 year of an offense. But sorry, we got to fire this guy. Here, let's learn a new offense in year 2. It's never going to, it's
you got to hope the Ravens lose to Pittsburgh. Because that kind of will, from what I'm hearing, that kind of solidifies Harbaugh's position with the Ravens. It's time to move on.
Yeah, then he'll go to the Giants.
And then you go on your knees and you beg him to come and give him whatever he wants at that point because you have no choice. You have no choice.
And I'm almost to the point now where's this comment at? I just saw it in the
and just to add on to the veteran, or if you want to, you go ahead. Oh yeah, just
real quick
thing, like.
But this is it right here.
Yeah.
I'm almost to the point now
yeah.
where it's like I have no faith in the Jets grooming a young quarterback. I'd rather have a guy like Malik Willis say, listen, he's already been trained by Matt LaFleur and those guys. He looks much better than any, like go with him and use all your draft resources for players around him because I have no faith in developing a young quarterback.
No. And why would he come if he knows he's going to be replaced in a year or after 8 games?
Go ahead, Bubs. I don't know what I mean. It's rock bottom.
I wanted to give him a second chance, but when you're embarrassed like that, listen, don't come back today and say, "Oh, I saw the tape again." We're not stupid people.
Nope.
We're probably the most loyal fan base there is, and we're smart. Okay, maybe a handful didn't quit. But the majority did.
It was obvious.
Okay. And when 1 or 2 quit, it just explodes on the screen.
Yep.
Okay. And they laughed at you across the field. They freaking laughed at you. I didn't want to curse, but I should have. They laughed at you and you just stood there like an idiot. Okay.
But they've been getting laughed at, dude. The Saints, the Saints whipped their ass. Tyler Shuck threw for 300 yards. The Dolphins are blowing them out. Jaguars blew them out. It's like it's day after day. There's a problem that you see in a red flag, and you can't ignore it anymore. You can't why do we have to ignore red flags? I don't understand why we have to.
What are you worried about? Who in that locker room are you worried about losing? That you can't.
Nobody.
Can't,
they could all go.
That you can't say. This team didn't come out to play. Okay. Are you worried that lose what veteran? If you don't even have a veteran, you don't have anybody.
No, what few leaders they had, Jermaine Johnson, Quincy Williams, all these guys, they've gone into a shell. They've actually kind of like, you know what? This is not, the effort thing.
He knows he's leaving. He knows he's not coming back. Yeah. Yep. It's right now. Things have to fall into place, and somebody's got to get fired. And
there's no hope, dude. There's no hope.
Because if he comes back, you're going to have first timers again. Someone was mentioning about the guy in the Bears. He's not coming here.
Al Harris. Here? Because it's of all the job openings out there, the Jets is going to be the least desirable one because you have a coach that's going to be on the hot seat. And there's no, because he pulls another 3-win team next year, he's out of here. He'll be fired by friggin' November.
He's going to pick somebody from the Lions that's a defensive back coach and make him a coordinator. And that's the only one that's going to come, who probably doesn't have a shot even getting to be the next level on the defensive tree there at the Lions. So it's, I don't know. I was hoping, but you can't even lure Jim Schwartz if he gets if Cleveland. Nope. I mean, there's a guy was basically all his defense is ranked within top 10.
Not going to come here. Any other job in the Jets.
Here?
Nope. Neither
it's
so. So I got a question. What took you off hiatus?
This game. This
rough,
game.
Dude.
Plus, I want to hear the goat again. I want to hear the goat again.
I wanted to go. My favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
Have a good night, man.
You too. Take care, guys.
You too. So this is the one thing. It's like do what the Pats did when they fired Mayo and Mike Vrabel was available. But that's to me is the equivalent of John Harbaugh being available. But like the thing is, the one notion I saw today was, the Jets can't fire him because there's nobody better available. So what are you gonna do? Instead of you're gonna double down on a mistake because you're scared of the unknown. I'd rather go in a different direction than know what we already know what he is. Like we've seen this before, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm spot on. I don't like that argument either of the whole there's no other better options. How do we know we're at the bottom right now? No better options. Like he's one of the worst coaches in the NFL. He's one of the worst coaches this franchise has ever seen. What are we talking about that there's nobody better? And to the point, apologies, we're getting some storms by me, so my internet's been a little choppy. But in terms of the veteran coach thing, like sometimes you just need that coach to just lay the foundation. You mentioned Parcells. After that, they had a good, consistent foundation for a couple of years.
Yep.
Even with the Knicks and Tom Thibodeau, was he ultimately able to get them over the top? No, but he got them out of the losing. Is a Harbaugh or a Tomlin or any of these guys, let's say, just throw some of these veterans out there, will they maybe not get you over the top? Maybe not. But can they get you just a relevancy for 3 to 4 years? And then you go out and get your young, innovative offensive mind. Then you try and find that next coach that is able to get you over the top. People have to realize how low this franchise is right now.
Absolutely agree.
How low the bar is. You're not going to get a guy that's going to come in here year one and win a Super Bowl. I mean, people crap on these other coaches' resumes. Like this franchise has such a great resume. Like I saw people today saying, Mike McCarthy had won 12 games 3 years in a row and he never won a Super Bowl. This team hasn't had a 12-win season since 1998. We're crapping on a guy that won 12 games in 3 straight years.
Bro,
what are we doing now?
Like they're like, Mike Tomlin only wins 10 games every year.
Oh yeah,
we're excited to win 6.
Yeah,
like who are we?
The Jets have had so much success of winning 11 and 12 games every year that those we're too good for those coaches. It's a joke.
It's crazy, man. Like we are so desperate. You need a guy to just make us just above average. Like get us out of the doldrums where we just have respect again.
Yep.
You have Mike Vrabel and Drake May mocking you on the sideline. You're getting mocked in a week out by everybody. Your home games are the opposing team's home games now. It's a complete disaster.
And how many more years are we just going to lose in the division? 0-6 this year again in the division.
And it wasn't even close. I mean, they whooped our ass.
They were all blown out. And all these games, they were blown out. And these blowouts were happening early in the year, too. Let's not forget that. They got blown out against Buffalo. Yep. They no-showed for 3 quarters against Tampa. That Miami game, they went into the fourth quarter down 2 scores.
A lot of garbage
The Cowboys game was the disaster. Glenn didn't know what Nick Folk's field goal range was against Denver. But it's okay. We're tanking. He gets a pass because we're tanking.
Yeah, the tanking was like the last 2 weeks. It doesn't offset the other 12 losses you've already had. Like, give me a break, dude. What's up, ST?
What's up, brother? Hey, Burbs. What's up, because?
How's it going?
Yeah, it's all good, man. I stayed up for this because I wanted to get some shit off my chest. Like, first off, I'm fed up. And furthermore, what I wanted to just exacerbate and just kind of let you guys try to extrapolate after we talk about this is that here's the thing. You can't do this to the organization. You cannot do this.
Yep.
And that's number one. Number two, how do you turn one of my favorite players into me hating this man?
My biggest fear.
I think Tyson touched on that.
We talked about that. First hired him. That's why I didn't want to hire him, because I didn't want to hate him.
It's ridiculous. It's like I don't want to call for this man's head. It takes every fiber of my being not to call for this man's head.
Yep.
But he's got to go.
Yep.
I'm sorry. He's got to fucking go. He has to go. You can't do this to the organization. Like, we are so shit. It's not fucking good enough. Not for the New York market. Not for a motherfucker like me that's like 5 hours ahead that stays up to watch this shit.
Yep. Not to your season ticket holders that spend a lot of money on your organization. Not to all the fans that travel all across the country and the world to watch this team play. You're basically shitting on everybody, because you're getting literally no return on your investment. Whether it's your time watching the game, your money, your energy, you're getting nothing. I'm to the point, dude, I don't want to wear Jet stuff. I'm just done. Like, I'm over it. Like, we're literally embarrassed to the point you're disgusted. I walk in the gym tonight, like, man, bro, your Jets are sucked. Like, you walk in, you're like, I'm so tired of being like this. It's getting worse. He took a bad situation and put gasoline on it.
And made it worse. Worse. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, like, apart from Kotai, like, what are the comments saying? Like, oh yeah, this is worse than Kotai. Yes, because nothing has gotten better.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, the one thing everybody saw about the Gase tank year, the thing about the Gase tank year is we wanted him to tank, so we knew he was getting fired. That's the difference. Lose all the games you want, get a top pick, and then you can learn a whole new coaching staff. We're tanking now to reward a bad coaching staff. Go ahead, Bub.
Yeah, not to cut you off, but we knew that going into the season that was going to be a tank year. We all knew it.
Yep.
This year, this coaching staff sold us a bill of goods, and they turned nothing into it. Essentially.
Absolutely, Bubs. And like, you know what's amazing to me is that we are sat here gonna do the same shit. You know the definition of insanity, right? We all know that, right?
This was all predictable.
We are literally
this franchise is all
So
about.
my whole thing is like, what pisses me off the most is like, oh wow, like, okay, we're tanking. I don't believe in that shit, first off. But the whole thing is, if we are tanking and we get a pick, what are we gonna do? Trade with the Giants, who won, by the way. And like, you know, we're gonna trade up.
Like, I don't even care about
to get a pick, give away all of our assets to this staff.
Well, not even that, dude. It's not even that.
No.
Like, I agree with tanking. I have no problem playing Brady Cook and losing. I don't care about that. The problem is I have the problem handing Dante Moore to Aaron Glenn. That's what I can't stand. Like they've been incompetent to this point, to the point that they have to tank because they're completely irrelevant. And now you're saying, okay, we're going to reward failure on a historic level and say, here's some shiny new toys. Maybe you could do it right this time. Maybe. You've never done it right in your career. You've never been a head coach before. You never rebuilt an organization. You never developed a quarterback. You never developed an offense. Never done any of that. But we're going to trust you.
But you know what? Having said that, and you're absolutely right, Tyson, but having said that, like, this is annoying. And this goes back to the Jets being a shit organization. Like, we did this before.
100%.
And furthermore, it's like, what is your number one marketing tool? Afram just mentioned it, right? It's like, we got all its picks. We got a fucking ton of picks, money. We got space. Like, how are you going to you literally can get, what am I hearing on WFAN? That they're talking about, everybody's going to move on from Harbaugh and maybe Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, because they're saying the loser of Steelers-Ravens, that coach is probably going to leave. So Steelers win. Yeah. Harbaugh could be out. Lamar Jackson's because he's injured all the time, all this other stuff. You know.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like, do you guys want Lamar Jackson? I love Lamar Jackson. He's literally my favorite quarterback in the league. I've said this on multiple occasions. Anyway, the whole point is the number one marketing tool the Jets have, and they still don't use it to get a prominent head coach. They never did it apart from fucking Parcells. Number one. Number two, like every single time we had a ton of picks. Like what was it? We did this with Trevor Lawrence, the Trevor Lawrence year.
We got Zach Wilson.
Yeah, and Douglas.
Yeah, we got Zach Wilson. That was shit. We had a ton of picks, ton of money. nobody cared, and like they still have
Wrong
this
people in
clown
charge.
wearing a mask. This clown wearing a mask calling plays from the sidelines. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand like this organization and what we're trying to do. For Woody, it's a nice shiny toy. This motherfucker didn't holler Salah.
No,
he had nothing to do with it. He was off over here with me in London.
But the problems always started with Woody Johnson when he never gave any kind of mandate to win. It's always like, well, I just want to see them show up and this
Process.
and that. Then he held Justin Fields accountable because his coach wouldn't do it, which is ridiculous.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was Aaron Glenn's fault because Aaron Glenn wouldn't do it himself. Like I just can't think.
Sorry. What's the stat? They said like in the last 4 games, like right, like
the point differential is his
point differential is crazy,
1972
bro.
Patriots, and this weekend, I won't even say they will become the first team in NFL history to lose their final. I believe it's 5 games by 21 or more points.
And I'm going to say this before you guys cut me off. Yeah. To sit here and watch Mimbu, a motherfucking rookie, like get fired up and fight, and nobody else did. Leaders, none of your captains doing that.
Nope.
And to have the final game in your house and have the Patriots, which we always hate and we always have to play at least twice a year, to have that. And to sit there and have the press conference and to have the words that came out of that man's mouth, it's like, I love you, AG, but I can't have you here in this organization. I can't. I want Tomlin. I want Harbaugh. I want anybody but AG. Any fucking body. Like, get my daughter to fucking coach the team with all these picks. Like, I can't do it no more. Like, I hate one and done. I really love AG, and I really hate the fact that this might be a thing, but I'm sorry. You can't do this to the organization. No man or woman is bigger than the Jets. They got to go. This motherfucker done talked mad shit and said, like,
can't back
everything. Didn't back it up, didn't deliver, and I'm sorry. You can't do this to New Yorkers, and you can't do this in this market. You got to have balls the size of grapefruits to take this job. And you guys want to talk about defensive coordinators?
Bro, we got a ton of callers,
man. Get them out.
Happy New Year to you and your family, man.
Bless up, boys. Thank you so much.
You know, he's exactly what I was thinking too, though. Yeah. Like there's so many different problems and layers to this. But the biggest one is Aaron Glenn right now is the face of your franchise because none of the players are. Yeah. He came out all this powerful, brash guy, and now he's a timid little kitten right now. Yep. And that's the locker room too, because the locker room's watching their leader. How do you handle adversity? How do you handle losing? You know how he handled it? He backed down, he backed off, he got soft. He tried to call his team out, then he backtracked from that. He's literally in over his head, and it's more obvious now than ever.
Yeah, he's lost. He's like a turtle going back under its shell. He
100%.
is so lost. All this tough guy, physical training camp, all this accountability nonsense. Now we're talking praising effort, losing 42-10.
But just think about that for a second, though. We're so bad. We're actually congratulating our team for giving effort, for actually showing up and performing at a decent level. We're getting rewarded for that. Oh, look, I'm so glad they showed up today. Dude, you're getting blown out every week.
Effort.
Holy Christ.
Terrible. When all these other teams turned around. Cohen turned it around. Ben Johnson turned around. D'Amico Ryans, 3 straight years playoffs. Broncos turned around. Patriots turned it around.
The only thing Aaron Glenn has accomplished is he's embraced the mantra of the Jets is justify losing. Find ways to excuse losing. Find ways to excuse all the problems, ignore all the problems because we can't handle them ourselves. That's the only thing he's accomplished.
Yeah, you're spot on. Well, it feels like the locker room is back to that country club environment again.
What's up, Bess? How you doing, man?
What's up, fellas?
How's it going?
Man, I don't know, bro. This team, man, I don't know how I don't even know how I'm a Jets fan. I don't know.
It's not easy.
This is ridiculous. I can't even watch football. I can't enjoy it no more because my team sucks. Sucks. They should. I don't even think they could compete with the college team, man.
Nope.
I don't.
Nope. They can't.
I don't.
It's an XFL roster.
The fact that the Patriots humiliated you on your home field, I understand. I don't care if we win anymore. I lost, gave that up 6-7 games ago, you know?
Yep.
But at least be competitive, man. You got embarrassed. You got laughed at. Like, come on.
They quit. They literally quit. You watched them quit. The game was over 10 minutes into the game. 14-0 game was over. Like, all right, we got 3 more hours of shit to watch.
I got to ruin my Sundays instead of spending time with my kids, enjoying them, and to watch this.
Yep.
To watch this. And after that, I don't even want to watch any other football game because of the way they played.
Yep. No, they're it's like a punishment now watching them. You feel like you're getting punished to watch them. And the thing is, like, you're trying to find some glimmer of hope, something to hang your hat on. Like, all right, well, at least we have this. There's nothing. There's literally nothing to hang your hat on going into the offseason. Like, well, I feel encouraged by this. I don't feel encouraged by anything.
No, look, I like Aaron Glenn as a player. Look, I became a fan right after what's his name, Kotite, right when Parcells came. You know,
Yep.
My uncle got me hooked on it. I was a young kid. I'm 41 now. I've been watching this team for what? Over 20 years.
Yep.
And I haven't seen anything besides the Rex Ryan era. That's it.
That's it. Nothing else.
It. Because I was too young with the Parcells, so I didn't even understand it that much, you know? I was just rooting for them.
It's
like this, I don't even know what to do. Like, they just can't get it right. They just can't get it right. Doesn't matter what they do. They just can't get it right.
Nope. I'm so discouraged. Like the Gase years, like all these years, we're like, oh, this is rock bottom. This is rock bottom. No, this is actually like for the New York Jets. Think about this. As bad as this organization is, this is a brand new rock bottom. Like we've accomplished something we never thought we could accomplish.
No, this is worse than Gase. I mean, Gase was bad, but holy shit, man. Like, holy shit. I can't even put it into words.
Gase actually, look, we all wanted him fired. He won 7 games.
Game plan. He knew how to game plan for the other team. Okay, yeah, we lost, but at least he had a game plan. I see no game plan.
Nope.
I just see them go out there, do what you can do. That's it.
Yep. And the thing, what bothers me the most is Glenn's a defensive-minded head coach. So at least the defense should be competent. Like, all right, the offense is going to struggle. Okay, the defense is historically bad.
I hate the Patriots, just like every other Jets fan. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. But Drake May is a good quarterback. I'll give him credit for that. He is. He's a good quarterback. But you made him look like freaking Tom Brady yesterday, man.
Yep. It's true.
What do you have? Two miscompletions?
Yeah, and one was a drop.
And that was like what, the last freaking minute of the game or something like that?
Yep.
Come on, man. They can't be that bad. I understand you got rid of Quinn and you got rid of Sauce, man. But come on.
They were playing bad with them. It wasn't like they were playing good when they were on the team.
God, man, this team is so frustrating. Like, there's days where I want to throw my remote, rip my TV off the freaking wall. Like, it's unreal.
I'm with you. I've like all day today. I just try to think of ways to get out of this or try to embrace anything. I'm like, there's no way. Like the answer is the red flag has been raised. Like we know what the problem is now. We need a much better coaching staff. That's what we need.
We need a better coaching staff, better owner, better everything, man. I don't know. I don't know. Even if we already get another coach,
stadium.
I feel like Woody Johnson will still find a way to screw it up because all he cares about is putting money in his pocket. He really doesn't care if the team's actually doing good or not.
Yep.
He does it. Look what he does. He goes on social media and badmouth his players, man.
Yep. Yeah.
What owner does that? His players. Like, come on.
Yeah, that Justin Fields thing was embarrassing as shit.
I understand Justin Fields sucked. I never wanted them to get him, but I was like, you know what? Take a shot. Why not? Let's go.
Yep.
But come on, as bad as he was, you still don't trash him because you're just making the rest of the team look bad. Now the rest of the team don't want to do anything stupid because they're afraid the owner is going to come out there and talk shit about them.
Yep. Well, especially because the head coach won't hold him accountable. The Aaron Glenn held Brady Cook 10 times more accountable than he did with Justin Fields and all his nonsense for 10 games. It's absurd.
It is. It's unreal, man. Unreal. And then what he's saying in his press conference, oh, I don't BS with Woody or this, that. What are you going to BS him about? What are you going to BS him about?
Nonsense.
It's freaking common sense. Everybody in the world is seeing what this team looks like.
They're the worst team in football.
BS about.
Thanks for calling in, man. Have a good New Year.
You too, brother.
Later. I love that. I love calls like that. I love calls like that, Bubs. It makes me happy because it's the pain we're all suffering with right now, which is just crazy, man. It's just What's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Bubs? How's it going, guys? So, yeah, a lot to take in. A couple of the previous callers stole a little bit of my thunder on some of this stuff. So, I think first off, you got to separate the player from the actual coach, right? Aaron Glenn, we all love Aaron Glenn, the player, but he's a terrible coach. I think he's established himself as a terrible coach. The other thing, like, because even I think today I was watching some of the press conference and he was talking about like something about earlier in the year they were great against the run and something like that. And Quinnen Williams was here. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, you had 2 Pro Bowl players on the defense. I sure as fuck hope you're better.
He was but he was talking about how the Jets were down 35 points yesterday, and the team was still competing. Yeah. No, the Patriots took the foot off the gas. They had third stringers in. Nobody cared. Like, you're going to embrace garbage time stats now? That's your talking point?
Oh well, no. Like, and I'm glad you mentioned like. Because I want to talk. The team definitely gave up on him, and he established. I think he realized it was a catastrophic mistake to say that to the media, and he tried to backtrack. And it's like that's one of those KOD statements that you like, especially as a first-year head coach, to say that it's like, all right, so nobody's buying into what you're saying. And people were calling in talking about like the Gaze era, the Cote, like so lived through the Kotite era and the Gaze era, and to me, this is worse than Kotite for this reason. I don't know about you, Tyson. Like, I remember more so the Jets were up in a lot of those Kotite.
Yes, they were. They were out of shape. They were out of shape, and they always melted in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and it was like they actually had a team of talent. It's like, okay, like even as a kid, I was like, oh, well, this team like couldn't understand. But like years later, I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe they just didn't have the horses, and they lost all these games because of that reason. So like, it was a completely different environment of like getting blown out every week and just ineptitude, on that front. There's a couple things I want to talk to you all about is like in the event that they do move on from Glenn, how do you evaluate Darren Moogie and like, what do you do with him? Cause like, it's almost like, and like compared to whatever, I don't know what you guys do for, normal living 9 to 5, but like, it's like one of those things, if you do and to some extent, if you're all in the New York market, we saw it with, Tierney, right? With WFAN, like you do a great job in a certain market. And, that had nothing to do necessarily with him or the organization, right? Like, how do you evaluate someone like that? And to the point where like moving forward and bringing somebody in, right?
Well, see, the problem with Moogie is that Aaron Glenn was hired first. Then they brought Moogie in. And a lot of us said that Aaron Glenn's got pretty much full run of this team where he has a lot of say on personnel. So you could, in theory, say while they bombed on Fields, Aaron Glenn could get some credit for the Harrison Phillips, the Briggs, the Brownlee. Like he has, to be fair, we did give him credit for like, well, he's got a lot of personnel say. But the X factor to me is Rick Spielman, where it's like, all right, you have Moogie, you have Spielman, but what's the reporting structure, everything else. But having Spielman kind of makes you feel better about Moogie. Glenn doesn't have anybody. Glenn had Wilkes. That was all he had.
That's true.
That was it. But I mean, Bubs, what do you think? I mean, that's where I'm at, where Glenn's got a lot of say in personnel, I think.
Yeah. And then we talked about this when they made the hire, that the whole hiring a coach before the GM was kind of interesting. And getting Glenn a first time or all this power anyway was dumb, and it's turning out to be a disaster. But if they would to fire Glenn, and let's say they were to get a Harbaugh, if Harbaugh wants to run it his way and he wants everybody gone, then you trust him. If Harbaugh's fine with working with Moogie, whatever, like to me, it's if he stays or goes. I think Moogie's done some good things. You mentioned Briggs, some of the moves, even Brownlee.
Well, the Sauce and Quinnen trades got good value in return for that.
Good value as well. Will he hit on those picks? Who knows? A lot of that will be Glenn say. But if you would to get the Harbaugh and he wants like his guys, then you roll with Harbaugh in that event, or 100%. Pick whatever veteran.
I give Harbaugh full control. I wouldn't give a shit.
Oh, 100%.
No, that's fair. I mean, and that's the thing. And like, I know Ephraim kind of echoed some of these comments earlier, and I'll leave you guys with this. Is like, we're at a point, and it's a crossroads because, to the point where Moogie did so well, right? Like getting back that return with Quinnen and Sauce, like it makes the team marketable and valuable to someone at this point in time. Like you 100%. Have, what is it, $96 million in cap room? You have 2 very high, seemingly high first round picks. So if you're going to acquire some big name head coach, this is the time to do it.
Well, just think about it this way. Like Ben Johnson, when he became available, when he earned his head coaching opportunity, he wanted to go with the team where they had the quarterback. Caleb Williams, Doom, got it, go. Everybody for a long time wanted Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury said to the Jets last year, no thanks. I don't want to come to you guys. I'm not even taking your interview because guess what? You have no quarterback that you can work with or I can deal with. This year, you can call Cliff Kingsbury up and say, hey, listen, man, number 2 pick in the draft. You like Dante Moore? He's yours. Go roll with it and go have some fun. Or all these draft compensation and $90 million of cap space. If he wants Malik Willis, go get Malik Willis. Like you can literally do whatever you want for that guy to lure them in. That you know what I mean? That's the opportunity you have now. If you waste it, well, then we're having the same conversation next year.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, you kind of feel crappy because you're like, oh, well, you know, these guys did get the return and they to some extent deserve the right to make those picks. But yeah, like you know,
I think
hate
Rick,
to use the
I think,
6'7", but
yeah, but I think Rick Spielman's very respected in the NFL. I don't think he's a problem.
No, it's just one of those things. It's like, again, like you made the moves. Technically, you know, you deserve to reap the rewards of what you sowed. But to some extent, yeah, like if you're going to acquire someone who's just going to make the right decisions and really benefit the organization from it, you got to do it. So, guys, great show. Love it.
Happy New Year, man.
Thanks for having me. You too. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is a really good point here, too. The Jets start every game at a coaching disadvantage. Before the game even starts, we know that they will be outcoached. Sick of hoping players will hide our coaches' flaws. Well said. There is not. How many games have we seen this year where the Jets outcoached the opponent?
Never. And you know what else is a good point with that comment, too? Glenn today in his press conference talked about some of the schematical issues they were having. That's kind of concerning, too. He's like, schematically, you know, we've got
every week they say that.
Yeah, you never feel like there's a coaching advantage. And and we talked, when was the last time this team ever had a coaching advantage? Glenn's the same boat. Like, what does he do well? He doesn't call plays. He doesn't do any of that. His coordinators suck outside of Banjo. Engstrand's an unknown. Wilkes is gone. Chris Harris isn't any good either.
It's
good. It's a good point.
Tank man, what happened? You're hopeless now?
This game kind of broke me.
Well, we all knew they were going to lose. We didn't expect them to win.
Yeah, but I went in with a certain way. There's certain different ways of thinking. First of all, I was going to have the vacuums, but just like the Jets, if they're not going to show up, then why should that? The thinking is that you got to get. I am not a fan of Dante Moore. I'll go on the record saying that.
Why not?
I just don't think that I've seen this kind of record before of just like the quarterback that's like a little raw, but he has a great upside. And it's never worked out for us. So I was all in on Mendoza. And before that, the kind of thought process was, okay, I'm fine with Glenn this year because they're doing bad, but like, you know, they traded away all their players. And the only thing, and I've said this before, I forget which stream I think it was the one when the day after that performance with the halftime and the timeouts going into the half where Glenn was just melted down. I'm fine with Glenn and giving him a pass as long as he shows he's competent. And if he's not competent, then what are we doing? And he showed he's been showing, but especially this last game where we were getting laughed at like Adam Gase with Bill Belichick and the timeouts, that he is not competent at this position. And then you add that, you compound that with the fact that both reports of Woody Johnson keeping Glenn, and on top of that, then the Giants winning, and now Mendoza's gone. And it's just like, this is the same thing that we always deal with, and that the ball will never bounce our way, and that we will never get a break. And again, we could, I'm looking at the tank. It's possible. I mean, you need Kenny Pickett to have the game of his life. And then the Giants get the first pick again and we can trade up. But it's just, it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. So where are we? We're stuck with a guy who can't coach, no quarterback in the future. We're going to get stuck with Kirk Cousins based on our luck. I mean, it's just, there's just nothing to look forward to. We have a pick 16 from the Colts. That's going to change the franchise around. Like, there's nothing there. And you going forward, like Bubs has been saying, you're going to keep Glenn. And then you're going to fire him after like 5 games. And then it's just going to restart all over again. I mean, I guess if you really want to be like a real anarchist and masochist, you could say, oh, we're tanking for Arch Manning. That's going to be the move. We're going to keep Glenn. And that's what we said going into this year, pretty much. Whatever happens, happens. And it never works out. It never works out. We are just always going to be just at that. It's like a hamster wheel, Sisyphus wheel up the hill.
It is
never going our way. And with Woody Johnson, he's accepted the mediocrity of just what's happening, and that it's just he just can't. Even if he were to fire Glenn, you can't trust him to make the right call, because it's not even we can all acknowledge that Woody Johnson has been less hands, or at least we think he's been less hands-on than he was in the past few years, but he can't even hire the right people to take the first step going in that direction, whether it's his brother or it's the 33rd team, which we knew that wasn't going to work out. Just like we knew Glenn wasn't going to work out. It's just, it's a step ladder. It's a domino effect of just butt fumbles running into each other. And it's just, I don't even know where to go with this, where it's just like, what now? What do we look forward to? How do you have hope going into this team? See, if you're a season ticket holder, God bless you for keeping up with this. I mean, it's
impossible.
It's so
there's like, that's why what cracked me up yesterday. We're sitting here watching the game. I think it was 35-3, and a season ticket commercial came on for the New York Jets for 2026. I'm like, are you out of your goddamn mind? We're in the midst of a horrible season. You raise ticket prices, and you're getting blown out at home in front of 30,000 Patriot fans, and you're trying to sell tickets. There's not one player on this team you can market. Like, yeah, I want to go see that guy play. Nobody. Nothing.
And on top
you know
of
they're not going to win.
The stadium experience is already horrible. You're sitting there, and I'm walking around the stadium, and I hear cheering, and I'm doing my job. I was working for the Jets, as you know, and I'm just like, oh, so like it must be like the fans are going up for a big stop. It was near the last 2 minutes of the play when the Jets were on 4th down. The Patriots fans were cheering that the Jets didn't score. It was the loudest it was the whole game. And they didn't get it, of course, but big cheer. It's like, what, you're just going to sit there and deal with that? It's just such a draining experience that it's like you don't even have hope going into the offseason now. Especially, again, maybe, I mean, what, we're going to get 63-year-old John Harbaugh, the game's passed him by, that's going to be the answer? Like, it's just nothing. I mean,
there's just, like, even the current state of this, like going into free agency, I have no faith, because I think the Jets are going to have to drastically overpay guys if they even want to come here. Like, who wants to come to play for the New York Jets right now when you have no quarterback and you have a coach on a hot seat and all you've done is lose for the last decade?
And even on top of that, like, I like Muji. I legitimately think Muji's a good GM, at least at this point from what I've seen. And I don't think he even has that much control based on Glenn's. It seems like Glenn, because Glenn, as we know, as it always works with the NFL, the head coach was hired first, then the GM. So it's like, what, is he in a position to even like call the shots here? Or is he just kind of reporting to Glenn and doing, it's just backwards. And I'll wrap it up here. It's just, there's just not, we just got to hope a miracle happens with the first pick in the draft. But besides that, because like I've said this in the past, if you have the quarterback, you've seen with the Jaguars and the Bears, no matter how ugly it is with the head coach, eventually you can turn it around.
Yep.
I don't want to get into Sam Darnold right now, but going from there, Tyson, you feel okay physically? That's all that matters. Good. Okay. I love to hear it. Bubs, stay in school. I don't know.
Happy New Year to you and your family, man.
You too, guys. See ya.
No, this is what they've done right now is they've made what could be an off season of excitement. It's kind of tainted for me because I'm like, all right, we can have a number 2 pick, but I really don't trust this staff. I don't really know. Can they groom a quarterback? You go in the free agency. Does anybody even want to come, or who are going to pay? Who you like? And then it's like the other thing, which he touched on, is right now the New York Jets following this season are going to be desperate to sell tickets and bring this fan base back. How do you do that? Crazy signings, crazy trades. When you act in desperation, problems happen. And if your plan is hope, that is never a plan in the NFL. So there are you can't I'm happy to have number 2 pick, but other than that, I'm like, oh, like you just know it's not going to end well. You just know it's not. What's up, Jack?
What's up, Tyson? What's up, Bubs? Bubs, I feel like you got your cherry popped, man. You used to be this like young, enthusiastic Jets fan, and like I've seen a side of you before that. I feel like I'm looking at the younger version of myself. I used to be you, and this is what you have to look forward to, buddy. Thinning hair, bags under your eyes, and Woody Johnson just destroying everything that you love in life.
Yep,
it's a joke.
Yeah, man. Look, I loved the game on Sunday, man. This was exactly what I wanted to see. It's not enough to just lose because losing is a warm blanket that puts Woody to sleep at night. Like he would love nothing more than like an 8-9 team. That is like where he just wants to be, right? But the one thing that he doesn't take well is being humiliated. And I posted this on Jet Nation a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to double down on it. I don't think this guy's safe, man. Like, I don't think Aaron Glenn is safe. Woody claimed, or Aaron Glenn, and I think the defenders, the beat writers, they claim that Woody is on board with the tank, and Woody is the type of person who is on board until he's not anymore, right?
Yep.
So, like we saw this with Eric Mangini and Tannenbaum when they brought in Favre, right? Like he was all in. End of the year, I mean, Favre's biceps blows up, and Mangini's escorted out of the building, and that was something that caught everyone off guard.
Yep.
I don't think anyone had Saleh getting fired in week 5 or 6 or whatever it was, because everyone said in 25 years of ownership, he's never fired a coach midseason.
Yep.
Saleh's gone. A few weeks later, Joe Douglas follows. So I think there's still a good chance that that he isn't back next year. And Tyson, you're complaining about seeing season tickets commercials. If they're running commercials to sell season tickets, it means that they're having trouble selling season tickets. And the $40 million is a drop in the bucket if the stadium is empty and they don't have butts in the seats of the stadium. So I think this is a good thing, man. I'm praying to God that Glenn is gone, because this has just been, coat tight-esque in terms of
if Woody Johnson's a businessman, like, and I was gonna touch on this too. It's like Woody Johnson, he wants to make a lot of money off the Jets. Right now, as this team currently exists, you can't market them. You can't market them at all. You can't sell tickets. You can't get corporate sponsors. You can't get the big advertisers because the Jets are a laughing stock. They're one of the worst in the NFL, and they have got no face of their franchise. Who is it? Garrett Wilson? Maybe Garrett Wilson. It's like there's no like one guy. Like, just say with the Giants, you want to go see Malik Neighbors, you want to go see Scadaboo, you want to see Jackson Dart. Where were those guys in the Jets? We thought we had some of them, and we don't have any of them. So now, and this is when Woody Johnson meddles and makes decisions, because and the thing with Aaron Glenn is at their end of year meeting, which is another week from now, when he walks in Woody's palace and says, "Okay, let's review this year." As a businessman, give Aaron Glenn 5 talking points to justify keeping his job. He can't do it. There's nothing. Nothing he can do.
I'm going to push back on you a little bit and say you being generous calling Woody a businessman. Like Woody cosplays as a businessman. The man's never worked a day in his life.
But he's about ticket sales. He's about ticket sales.
Right, he's about ticket sales.
That's all he wants.
Yeah. And look, the other point I'll make is I think it's a blessing in disguise that the Raiders are picking number 1 and taking Mendoza. Not because I hate the kid. I'm not huge on Mendoza, but I hope that Dante Moore stays in school, because this is not a team that a rookie quarterback can come into and be successful. Dante Moore is 20 years old. He started 14 games, and all he does is throw bombs down the field, 40, 50 yards. You can make a great living in college throwing 50-yard go routes all year when you have the best talent in the country. In the NFL, that doesn't exist. You need to be able to execute 12-play drives, be precise, be decisive, get to your first, second, third read. And Dante Moore hasn't shown that he can do that. So all these fans, they see like the shiny new object. We did this with Sanchez. We did it with Darnold. We did it with Zach Wilson. We did it with Geno. And it's the same meat grinder that you put these kids through. So the idea that like a 20-year-old kid is going to come into a locker room that is completely dysfunctional right now, like guys are out there. Breece Hall doesn't give a shit about the Jets. Like I cannot. He wants out. And at this point, 6 weeks ago, I was saying you got to sign him 3-year, 4-year contract. I'm ready just to let the guy walk out the building. But Dante Moore is not saving this franchise, and to use a high-end asset on someone like that and expect him to come in. I mean, the other point I'll make is if Aaron Glenn is back, why is he going all in on a 20-year-old that knows might help him win 4 or 5 games next year? He doesn't have the runway. He doesn't have the equity to survive a 4-win season next year. So they're going to have to, and I think they should, go after one of these quarterbacks in free agency. It's funny. I posted 3 weeks ago. I posted the Jets to go after Malik Willis at Jet Nation, and I got completely roasted by everyone over there. So
I did the same thing with Ian. I got roasted. Yep, same thing.
I got absolutely butchered. And now, if you go over there on the site, every other post is Malik Willis, Malik Willis, Malik Willis. But I think a guy like that, I mean, he's only started 5 or 6 games, limited kind of tape on him in terms of like what he can and cannot do. I've seen enough of him this year to know, like, he's got a great arm, he's a great athlete, and he's everything you thought Justin Fields was going to be. At this point, who gives a shit about money? 2 years, 3 years, fully guaranteed, $20 million a year. I don't care. Just get someone in here, a 27-year-old adult in the room who's been through the ringer a little bit, who's had 2 years of rehab under Matt LaFleur, and that effectively is your rookie quarterback. They can't afford to have a 20-year-old kid come in here.
See, I agree with you. If you go Malik Willis, which I have no problem doing whatsoever, because he could be in the head of his prime of his career and actually taking off, which is a good thing. You can draft somebody in the 3rd round, 4th round, like draft a guy and say, listen, next 2 years, you just learn. You're not forced to play and develop them.
And you know who set the kind of the precedent on this was, I don't know, Bubs, you might be too young to remember this, but Matt Flynn was a long-time backup in Green Bay, 4 or 5 years, never started a game, looked great in the preseason, had a couple stints in cleanup action, played well. The Seahawks gave him, at the time, it was a big contract, 3 years, $21 million, big guarantee associated with it. That year, right after they gave him the contract in the 3rd round, they drafted a little quarterback named Russell Wilson, and Matt Flynn never got on the field. So in a perfect world, that's exactly what you do. You basically say, look, we're gonna overpay for Malik Willis just to have a warm body on the field to take snaps. You use pick 1-3 and 1-16 or whatever it ends up being on a Carnell Tate, a Jordan Tyson, and maybe you double back and say, we're going to get the Sadiq kid tight end from Oregon, and we're going to have a bunch of really big bodies to pair with Garrett Wilson, and you say this is the perfect offensive weapons for any quarterback to come in, and then you head yourself with a 3rd round pick and see what you have there and let the card shake out. And you know what? If you win 4 games next year, who cares? You've got 3 first-rounders next year. Arch Manning and a bunch of other quarterbacks will probably show up, and you could tap the well again and try again. But I don't think the way the team is structured right now, there's not enough talent on offense. They don't have the coaching personnel. They've got about 1 million holes on defense that you need to use these draft picks on. They don't have the assets to trade up for a quarterback as much as everyone wants to pretend like they do.
No, you
They've
can't.
got 10 holes they need to fill.
No, I completely agree. And Bubs, this is kind of what, the more I think about it, it's like you'd rather take that shot at Malik Willis and use all these draft choices on other edge defenders, wide receivers, linebackers, because like we're not one player away. We're not one quarterback away. And the more you watch this team play, the more like Breece Hall can go, Jermaine Johnson can go, Will McDonald can go. I don't care. Like there's nothing, there's not like one player. Like when Membu cares more than the rest of your team does, I'm like, that speaks volumes to me about the leadership and actually the veteran presence in this locker room. So it's like, clean it out, bring all these young guys in. And Malik Willis, I wouldn't mind it at all, dude. But that seems like, and to your point, I keep like Aaron Glenn's on the hot seat. If he makes it through this offseason, which he should, next year it's like, you better show a lot of improvement, dude, or this time next year you'll be fired. That's it. So how do you the fastest way to winning is a veteran quarterback.
And you have to think that Aaron Glenn's first phone call after this season is going to be Bill Parcells. And Bill Parcells he did it with the Patriots with Drew Bledsoe when he had pick 1-1. But then he got to the Jets. He had no interest in playing any young quarterbacks. It was first phone call was Vinny Testaverde. And when things got rough, it was Rick Meyer and a bunch of others. So, he always had his kind of developmental guys, that his old projects with the Romos and all of that, and the Ray Lucases. But he was always going with a veteran at quarterback first. And I have to think that Aaron Glenn has zero interest in drafting a quarterback.
Well, I wish you would have learned from Bill Parcells with all the offensive coordinators he had. Look at the Charlie Weisses and everybody else. He had all these good, this is just a mess.
When you don't have the resume or the respect, everyone says like Aaron Glenn was this respected coach. He interviewed with, I think, 16 teams before he got the job with the Jets. He's so respected, but no one would hire him except for the Jets. So I know you got a lot of callers, but good talking. Bubs, hang in there, man. I wish I could tell you that it gets better, but dude, it's been. Bubs, I went through my entire 30s without the Jets going to the playoffs. So when you think it can get worse,
Just keep digging a little deeper.
I promise you that. But
Yes.
take it easy,
You're
guys.
bad.
Have a good one.
Oh.
He makes a great point though about Glenn going through the interviews, because Muji actually mentioned that in their introductory press conference about they interviewed him for the Denver job. And he said how, the way they talked about what his first message to the team would be, and he went through this whole thing. It's like, if he was that good, then why didn't you hire him? He makes a good point about that actually.
And the staff that he put together too was not ideal too, where it's a lot of like surprises and question moves. And the thing is too, it's like, this isn't second guessing. As this process played out, we questioned all the moves. We questioned his staff. We questioned, he knows it from the lines. And like, okay, so you can understand the reasoning, but like, you're really putting a premium on coaching here. You're really banking on having a really quality staff here, and you don't have one. And now this is the aftermath where all of your players that you thought are building blocks and now become problems. And that's enormous. Like I'm just shocked that we're here right now talking about this to this level. It's remarkable to me.
Yeah, and that was the big knock too with Saleh, was his staff was awful, and we saw it right from the start. And the same thing now with Glenn. It's all too predictable. We're going down the same exact path. I mean, Glenn makes Saleh and Kotite and Gaze look like Chuck Noll, Lombardi, and Tom Landry. Really?
And the funny thing is, like to me, I think Breece Hall wants out. It wouldn't surprise me if he says, "Listen, either you tag me or I'm not resigning here." But then, if you're Garrett Wilson, who is fed up with losing, he got the big contract. He tried to embrace it. He sees the path this team is going. He's like, I've seen this direction before. At what point does he say, please trade me and get me the hell out of here? Like, why would Garrett want to stay here now? Like, why? There's no reason to want to stay because he knows what this coach is.
Yeah, it's just the hope of this rookie quarterback, but the rookie quarterback's probably going to get destroyed because of the coaching. It's just this job is at its highest point from a sell standpoint for somebody to come here. You mentioned Kingsbury. You were spot on earlier about that. Like, this would be a prime spot for a veteran who maybe didn't want the job last year to now want it this year. You have 5 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts, 9 picks over the next 2 days, 8 of those in the first 2 rounds. All this cap space, your opportunity at the quarterback you want. Handpick them, draft them. Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, whatever. But they're going to stick with Glenn.
It just makes no sense. It just doesn't make sense. You're going to trust this team, trust this regime on blind faith when you've seen 1 year of incompetence.
I'm just so tired of the hope. Everybody's like, well, you have to have hope. There's no other choice. What are we talking about?
Hope is not a plan.
Hope isn't a plan. Like, what hope? All off season last year, what did we do? Hopefully Saleh learns from his mistakes. That's what we all said. Yep. Did he learn from his mistakes? No.
Nope.
So
Glenn is not even learning from his mistakes.
No. And now all off season, we have to hope that, he gets better.
You had the Hail Mary before halftime. The back-to-back weeks, he blew it.
And that's another thing he talked about all offseason. The other thing that he said all offseason, last 4 minutes of each half belongs to head coach. Yep. And he has been awful in the last 4 minutes of each half.
Yep.
Another thing that's backfired on him.
It's just, this is rough, man. I just can't believe we're here right now. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, I guess.
How's it going?
Wow, what a great fucking season, huh, guys? This is
another one of these years.
We're like in the fucking Twilight Zone, bro. Like, you see, I love the sunlight. It's like an awakening for me. Like, truly, like, because I have this. I know I've had like phone calls in the past where like there's Japanese people literally looking at me. They're probably like, this guy's mental. But hear me out. I've called before. I've let it out. This is the first time where I think I've actually had to write down everything that I wanted to say because it's just like. Wow, dude. First of all, fuck hope. I'm tired of this shit. It's every fucking year, literally. I can't even speak on the fucking Kotite, Bill Parcells era because I was way too young. I love Chicago, watching Michael Jordan. I didn't care. I was watching Space Jam, whatever, right? And then I started following the team with Chad Pennington. Thought he was like unbeatable because I didn't know any better. It's like I loved the team, even though my dad sabotaged me into being a Jets fan. But I love him, and it's like one of the few things that we like to bond. Thank God he made me into a Yankees fan. Thank fucking God. At least that's a good thing, right? So I have a lot to say, and I'm going to try to make it really quick.
I like that you wrote it down. I'm impressed by that.
I know, dude. This is when it's like, man, the Jets really pissed me off. Like, holy shit. First question, who's a better snake oil salesman, Robert Saleh or Aaron Glenn? Answer that question.
See, the thing with Aaron Glenn was he's a former Jet player, so we all liked him for that, and he had the backing of Sean Payton and Bill Parcells. So, like his resume and his backing was by prominent people, so we kind of understood that more.
Yep. Right. Yeah. Joe Cat actually brought that up on one of the Afterburners thing. He's like, "Isn't that great? He was just hired because he was a Jet." He was like, shame on everybody for buying Glenn jerseys and all this other.
Well, the thing is, I made a good point before. If Aaron Glenn wasn't a former player, I think a lot of these opinions would be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
If he never played for Jets,
100%.
a lot of these opinions would be a lot different.
Yep. So let's go to the press conference today, right? So they asked him, "Hey, so what's your opinion on the 19-second timeout that Vrabel did?" "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not Vrabel." Did you ask him? He's literally disrespecting you. He's trolling you in the fucking game. Tyrod out for personal reasons. He doesn't want to play for the fucking team anymore. He's getting murdered out there. Complimentary football. The offense needs to show up. Bro, you're from Detroit. Your fucking defense has been dog shit before. You have to rely on Ben Johnson. Your defense didn't show up. Complimentary football. The only ones that are doing good is fucking special teams. We don't even deserve Banjo. Literally at all. So don't even come and say the offense. We know it's inept. Your defense is inept. And you're a defensive-minded head coach. I'm tired of that shit. So let me mark those down really quick. So we got that. Positions to fucking win, right? Positions to win. You want to know how you put your team in a position to win? Fucking resign. So there we go. We got that. 20 plus points per game. Jaguars 48. Patriots 42. What else? Let's say the Dolphins scored 3 touchdowns in the fucking first quarter, right? Bro, trash. Fucking trash. You know what it reminds me of? You ever watched Dave Chappelle, the Rick James skit? Right? He comes inside the Eddie Murphy's apartment and just stomps all over the couch with muddy fucking boots. That's what they did. They came into our house, fucking didn't take off their fucking shoes, walked all over, put mud everywhere, ate our fucking food, slapped us around, slept with our significant others, while Aaron Glenn literally sat in the corner like a cuck. And it's funny. He came in with all his fucking bravado, right?
Well, the thing about Aaron Glenn is he has the blank stare down on the sideline now too, where he the thing about Sal used to cross his arms and Bowles had it. Glenn has to look like the gummy hit it, like the edible kicked in.
Seriously, the fucking Xanax probably kicked in. He probably needed that shit. Like it's trash, bro. This organization is inept, and if we keep him another year, we are truly not serious. We say this every fucking year. But then it's like, okay, if we fire him, I could also see them, we need a head coach. We'll just Hail Mary and bring Rex Ryan back or hire Ron Rivera, and we'll go through the same shit. I would honestly say if we could bring John fucking Harbaugh, pay him double what a head coach makes. I literally give him everything.
No problem doing that.
Right? At this point, I'd rather hope the Bills drop 80 on us in their stadium, or we get another London game where.
Well, they will, dude. It's the last game in their stadium, man. They're gonna drop 75 on us.
I hope so. So maybe that'll convince Woody to fire him. But then he's gonna probably hire another shitty head coach because we have a shitty owner. Right? So we got fucking commercials, right? Trying to convince us a season pass. So remember what last season, right? They were talking about pass gifts, right? Suits and watches and wine. We can't even afford that. And what if we could? We're gonna look like fucking losers. So fuck you, right? Every fucking year.
Yes, the wine slips.
Dude, literally. Fucking Liam Cohen, all these brand new head coaches, first year turned it around. What's our fucking excuse?
Well, literally. I mean, in all fairness, Liam Cohen's got Trevor Lawrence. Ben Johnson's got Caleb Williams. But the problem is the Jets, Aaron Glenn banked on Justin Fields and grossly failed with him, and everything after that's been a disaster. So they just. But the thing is, not even going to make the playoffs. Just play competent, competitive football and improve as the season plays out. They haven't even done that. Like they haven't improved anywhere.
We're fucking losers. Not us. Our team is. It's just been stuck with us. We've got our fucking handpicked quarterback for this season crying in the closet. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of being the big man. Oh, let's not beat him down too hard. No, fuck him, dude. I don't care. It's fucking trash. 0 interceptions. The last time I think I remember us having an interception was when Tony Adams picked off fucking Eagles, Jalen Hurts. And then the best game we had interceptions was fucking Jordan Whitehead playing catch with Josh Allen 2 years ago.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Literally, that was the last time we've had fucking turnovers. Our sacks are fucking trash. Like, literally, I'm tired of the tanking because we're going to put the same QB through the same fucking shit. It's like loser mentality. It's like our Super Bowl. But it's like, that's all we have. It's going to be the same thing, clockwork, like a fucking
that's all this team and locker room knows now. This locker room knows losing justifying you losing, making excuses, and just getting out of the season because nobody cares. That's where they're at right now.
We're getting accolades for the wrong fucking reasons, loser fucking mentality, bro. Like,
how long is this list? God damn.
Let go of the fucking rope, dude. We might as well jump off a fucking cliff. We're almost done. You know what I mean? And honestly, dude, no one should be showing up to the stadium. Fucking throw away all your gear. I've been doing that. I'm gonna probably burn my Breece fucking Hall jersey on the beach tonight. Literally, I'm tired of this shit. Anytime we have a press conference, the Seinfeld theme needs to fucking be on. And honestly, the only way we get Mendoza is if the NFL investigates the Raiders, because you got Max Crosby on IG fucking playing basketball with his daughter. Like, literally. Like, dude, this is trash. Bill Parcells, he talks to him every fucking time. He's trolling us. Bill Parcells doesn't like us. He's giving him the wrong fucking shit. Tony Dungy and all these fucking guys. It's bullshit, guys. And they don't deserve us as fucking fans. Literally. Sell the goddamn team. Nebraska needs a fucking team. Omaha Jets. Fuck it. Love you guys. Fuck this team. Fuck Woody. Suck my fucking dick. Bye.
Happy New Year, man.
Yeah.
How we going?
Oh.
That was a good one.
I told you, Bubs. I told you this is going to be one of these nights. I warned you. This is when the shit goes bad. This is what happens on our channel. When the Jets are winning or playing good football, nobody wants to talk to us. When the shit goes south, here they come. This is where everybody likes to tune in and just, woof, man.
It was spot on with everything. He hit all the. I don't think he missed anything on the list. You know what else I'm tired of? Is just Glenn continues to talk about like the guys understand our brand of football. What we're trying. What's your brand of football? What? Like he's like, you know, he said today about all these young and inexperienced guys. As long as they, you know, it doesn't matter if they're young or rookies, as long as they understand our brand of football and playing our brand of football. I don't know. Please elaborate what your brand of football is, Coach.
Somebody tell them like they have 3 wins and they're getting blown out every week.
If your brand of football is losing by 30 plus every week, then sure, you're hitting it on the head there. But
the problem I have is Aaron Glenn acts like he's actually accomplished something in NFL as a head coach. He's been a great player. He had really good results as a defensive coordinator. As a head coach, you've accomplished nothing other than pretty much demoralize this fan base and have this team at probably a new rock bottom. That's it. So this whole trust me, my brand, this, that, yeah, like in your little private world in your office, that sounds great. On the playing field, we're not seeing it. And that's the problem.
Nope. Exactly. Spot on. No identity again. It's just trust me.
Trust me, bro.
Where we're at.
Trust me, bro. You don't know what he said. We don't know what's inside his head and inside that building. Yes, we do know. It's called 15 years no playoffs.
Yeah,
we have your players are quitting. Like even like the Jermaine Johnson stuff, dude. Like the thing with Jermaine Johnson, like I want to like him so bad. Even like you can tell the losing taking a toll on him too. He's like, you know what? He's part of it now. He's got consumed by the stench of losing.
Yep. Yeah, he's regressed, and now you saw his comments yesterday, and Breece, same thing, and. I mean, they could have dealt those guys and got something for them. Now their value is just so low, and you don't even trust them. Like coming back next season, you don't feel good about Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. It's another 2 spots on the defense that you need to upgrade.
But the problem with that is like you wonder, are these like right now? A lot of people keep telling me is you overrated your players. Quincy Williams isn't that good. Will McDonald's not good. Jermaine, like all these guys aren't that good. Is that the case, or are they just being poorly coached? If you gave this defense, just in theory, to Rex Ryan, would these guys be playing the same or better? Would they be much improved? If you gave this defense to Jim Leonard, would it be the same? So my fear is that Aaron Glenn and his incompetence, like, you know what? Will McDonald doesn't fit my system. Jermaine Johnson doesn't fit my system. We're going to be getting rid of players that we think are not good, that could actually be good, but are poorly coached here because these guys can't maximize their potential. That's my concern.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're spot on. And that was the whole issue with Wilkes' scheme this year. And players, saw the report that they were upset about it. Like the schemes are archaic. They make it so predictable in their blitzing. They're just so vanilla coverages. They don't disguise anything. And any good quarterback, any good offensive mind is able to tear that apart. And players felt that they weren't in a very good position to make plays. And that's why you've seen no interceptions, none of that. Yep. So and like who's like you can't trust Glenn either to then bring in players of his own, like who's his, nobody even followed him here.
Nope.
I think that speaks volumes too.
Nope. And that's the thing. And the one thing that he talked about was he arrogantly said like, oh, we're going to maximize our scheme is going to match our players' talent. We're not going to force our scheme on them. We're going to adapt to our players and get the most out of them. They didn't do that either. Like everything he talked about, it's been the opposite.
Yep. Yeah, and he spoke all offseason about coaching, pretty much bashing the other. He makes Ulbrich look like a genius. This guy, he does. I mean, they're so poorly coached.
And right now, for those wondering, it is 21-0. The Falcons are beating the Rams.
Well, so much my fantasy championship's over.
Just, oh man, this is an hour and a half of just bitching and moaning. What's up, man?
Well, I will definitely tell you that in my how many years of Jets fandom, this is definitely the worst season. This is worse than Kotite. It's worse than anything I ever saw. It's worse than Charlie Winter, Lou Holtz. I mean, every one of those seasons. And it's just shocking how bad it is. And you just hit one of the nails on the head. Aaron Glenn said at the beginning of the year, we're going to match our schemes to match our players. We're not going to force them. Now, what's he saying? We need to get our guys in here to fit our scheme. It's like, guys, you know what? That's horseshit. That's not coaching.
He's lost.
That is not coaching. That doesn't mean you don't want to bring in certain players. You made the point earlier in the season. You said, you want to bring in guys like Parcells did, his kind of guys to be locker room leaders and stuff.
Yep.
But you don't sit there and tell them, you know what it reminded me of? I'm trying to remember which coaches was with Revis, where they had Revis playing a soft zone. Revis was the best man corner in NFL history, and they're trying to play him in a zone. It was idiotic. You don't do that.
Nope.
And it's just like, one of the things with Glenn, it really dawned on me at the beginning. I remember saying at the beginning of the year, being on here and saying, people were talking about him being arrogant with the beat writers. Now, I don't give a shit about the beat writers. I'm glad he's beating down on Samini. He's an asshole. But it was the arrogance. And I remember saying this, I said, you're going to be that arrogant. You're not going to learn. You're not going to listen.
Yep.
He should have come in there. The first thing he should have done as a head coach was come in there and listen. Listen to what players were saying. Watch what they're saying. Watch them. Not even talk to them. Just watch them. And he thought he had all the answers. He came in here and said, Saleh and crew were garbage. Well, he wasn't exactly wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yep,
he came in there and said that, but there was nothing behind it. And he was so arrogant, he wasn't listening. He wasn't watching.
Nope.
If you're watching, if you've got a quarterback like Fields that's struggling, and you're busy trying to get him to pocket pass and he can't do it, well, then you got to try to do something. If you're going to try to win, you got to try to do something to make it work for him. They didn't do it.
Nope.
Now, that may be Angstrom, but that could also be Glenn because that's game plan. And why wasn't he talking to Angstrom and saying, why the hell aren't you running RPOs? Why the hell aren't you running play actions? Why aren't you doing these things?
Yeah, but that can be applied to Steve Wilks too. It applies.
No.
You have one of the worst defenses in football, and you watch Steve Wilks go down in flames. Why not step up and say, "I'm calling plays now. I'm taking over. What's going on now is unacceptable." He didn't do that. He watched the defense fall apart.
And the other thing was he even listening? The thing was the players were pissed off because Wilks' scheme was garbage. They couldn't handle it. Not couldn't handle it. It didn't work. They knew it wasn't working.
Yep.
Now, come on. Glenn didn't know. He didn't see this. No player ever talked to him.
He had an open door policy, supposedly.
And no player ever talked to him and said, hey, this is not working. And also noticing you got players that last year, you're right, they were Pro Bowl caliber, that all of a sudden are playing like third stringers.
Yep.
Why? And it's all coaching. And this is where this year, what scares the hell out of me, and we look at Glenn, so we say, okay, why should we keep him? Well, there's the thing about, if you get to fire him, who the hell are you going to hire? Very valid. Who are you going to hire? You're going to get another first-time coordinator because nobody else is going to want this job.
Or Woody Johnson's got to open his wallet, open his eyes, and be like, listen, John Harbaugh, I'll give you $20 million a year, and I'll give you full control of the organization. This is to the level, dude, you've been around like me, dude. We're back to the level where the Jets needed Bill Parcells to save them. That's exactly the kind of person you need right now. We said this during this last hiring process.
Oh, I agree with you totally. I mean, the problem's going to be but you know that Woody's not going to do that. I mean,
and it's never going to change. But can I say one more thing, though? The one thing I can't say is, well, you can't fire him because who you're going to get. So you're going to double down on a mistake out of fear of the unknown. Find a fucking head coach that knows what he's doing. How hard is it? Oh, you already pissed off Mike McCarthy. You already ignored John Gruden. You've already pissed off all these other guys because this last hiring cycle. So now where are you? You've got to open your wallet and open up. Listen, you have full control of the organization, front office, whatever it is.
I mean, looking at this whole thing, and then I'm hearing people, Glenn's tanking the whole year. Come on, nobody tanks the whole year. And the only reason That's excuses. That's excuses. And the point is, he's got a bad coaching staff. And this is the other thing I'm hearing, right? Okay, we got to go up. We got to go up. We got to get Mendoza, or we got to get whoever's number one, or we got to get more. I don't care, whatever the quarterback is. And the problem is, they don't do this on their own. Every fucking thing. If you look at this league, every one of these quarterbacks that's excelled, they've had great coaches there.
Yep.
This is not, and we've had, you want the classic example opposite of that? Take a look at Chicago.
True.
Chicago fans were saying that Caleb Williams was a bust last year. They were saying he couldn't play. People were saying he was overrated, that he didn't deserve to be picked. He was garbage. Ben Johnson gets there, and the guy all of a sudden looks like an elite quarterback.
Look at Trevor Lawrence turning things
Trevor
around
Lawrence, look at that. And he had, now the thing about Trevor Lawrence that was interesting was he had Peterson down there, who theoretically is a great offensive coach.
Yep.
He couldn't do it. But all of a sudden, Liam Cohen gets down there, and the guy's looking like he should have looked. And that's the thing. And we also hear, and I keep hearing, oh, well, the Jets should get Malik Willis. He's good. Well, I can tell you, I don't think Malik Willis is that good. I saw him in college. He's an okay quarterback. He's not. But even let's say that he did well at Green Bay. That's under LaFleur.
Yep.
Is
the
he going to?
Coaching is the problem. It's like you don't have no faith in the coaching staff whatsoever. None.
And that's the thing. And we keep hearing about the other thing that the Jets fans hold on is this reclamation project. Has it happened? Yes. But look at these reclamation projects, right? Baker Mayfield was wandering. He gets with McVay, and then all of a sudden he's looking good. Then he gets under Cohen, and boom, he's doing great. Sam Darnold went to Carolina, wasn't so great. Had some time in San Francisco, so he saw Shanahan. And then all of a sudden he's playing for O'Connell, another good offensive guy. And all of a sudden he comes alive. By the way, Sam holds a distinction with he and four other NFL quarterbacks.
I saw that.
2 back-to-back 13-win seasons. He's one of only 5. And if you look at the other ones, they're all Hall of Famers. So the point is, you've got to have coaching to do this. And reclamation projects rarely work. It's such a it rarely works.
Well, the only way it would work is if you had an offensive-minded head coach that has worked with quarterbacks before.
And even and that's the thing, you need a good coach. And even with a good coach,
you're talking about Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, like these are all offensive-minded, great coaches.
They made a point. Someone made a point on the radio today that I thought was really, really good. Because a caller was calling in and saying, Aaron Glenn, they didn't have players. It was a lot worse than we thought. Oh,
shit.
And the host said something really good. He sat there and said, tell me something. If I brought in Shanahan, McVay, I brought him in, put him in as head coach of the Jets, how many wins do you think they'd have this year?
3.
They probably might even be a playoff team with this. Now, again, I with the quarterback situation, maybe not. I mean, I don't know what he could do with Fields. Maybe he could. But the point is, it's the coaching. And they don't have it.
Nope.
I don't want to go too long tonight because I could really start cursing and it's not good. I'd make legend blush. But I mean, with this thing, right? The only hope I've got one dim hope, and I don't know I think he might have checked out too. The one wild card in all this might be Rick Spielman. If he goes into Woody Johnson and says, look, I've been around this game a long, long time. I've seen coaches come and gone. Glenn doesn't have it. He's over his head. He's finished. If you bring him back, he's not going to do any better.
But the caveat to that is Rick Spielman helped get him hired. Rick Spielman was part of the 33rd team.
I understand that, but like Woody hires him a consultant, right? Spielman's been around a long time. And I said it's a dim hope. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But if we don't know what his role is, I don't even know, right? And Spielman could just turn around at the end of this year and say, fuck it, I'm gone. I want no part of this organization anymore because he's retired. He's basically was retired. But if he goes into Woody and says, look, this is not working. And he says, I think Muji's got a future. And I do. I think the picks that Muji's had, I don't think that's Glenn. I think that's Muji. I think Glenn has been so beaten back that he stepped back and let Muji do this stuff because
I don't know.
Glenn's picks were not. His stuff at the beginning of the year was awful. Quite honestly. He didn't bring Stevens is the one player you can say had a little bit of hope.
The only thing they got their value was the trades for like Briggs, Phillips, Brownlee.
And that was Muji. And again, I think that Briggs and those guys, I think the receivers, Mechie and whatchamacallit and Mitchell, they have promise. I'm not going to say they're going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but they might be solid 3 and 4s. The point is, though, Muji seems to have it. Would I get rid of him too? The answer is no in this case because it was hired backwards, but I think he shows promise. I think he knows. Could he get a coach? This is the other thing about Spielman. And again, please understand, I am just looking for any little bit of glimmer of hope because I don't see any at this point. I really don't.
I'm with you.
Whether we fire Glenn or keep him, it's going to be a nightmare because it's just the nature of the league and stuff like that. They fire Glenn. I don't think people are going to sit there and say, well, you fired Aaron Glenn. That's your fault, right? I don't think so because I think people know how bad this was. They saw how bad the Jets were. This is not just bad. This is not a losing season. This is a tragically losing season.
No, the Jets are getting bad. They're historically bad. And they're getting mocked endlessly on social media by everybody. And it's not just fans; it's analysts, it's broadcasters, and everybody else.
Even the guys on the games are making fun of him, which is amazing. They usually don't. And my hope is the other thing is right. The one thing Glenn obviously lacks. I'll be honest with you. People thought he was around for a long time and stuff like that. His contacts and stuff. He really, despite all his claim of his mentors and stuff, it's obvious he doesn't have a network because nobody wanted to come here.
Nope.
Because nobody's going to tell me that this level of coaching, Glenn thought these guys were great. None of them. Engstrand, Detroit didn't even want him as an OC.
Nope.
Johnson leaves. They didn't even look at him, right? The rest of these guys, we know who they are. And leaving Banjo out of it, he's great. Everybody else in this thing, every coach basically should be fired. You want my honest opinion? They all should be fired.
I have no problem with that. There's nothing.
Blow the whole thing up.
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, the thing that also puts all this in context, quite honestly, I've been thinking about it, is if you look at Glenn, right? So the big thing was Detroit. Look what Detroit did. Look what Detroit did. We now know from this year what happened with Detroit. It wasn't him, and it wasn't even Dan Campbell. It was Ben Johnson.
Spot on.
That offense, they had an okay defense. That offense. Now, I'm not gonna say Dan Campbell's a bad head coach. I don't think he's a very good offensive coordinator.
He took over the play calling though,
and they suck. So the point is, he as a head coach, I like his aggressiveness, his spirit. There's a lot of things there, but he had Ben Johnson, and it's obvious. Ben Johnson's taken the Bears where they were as bad as the Jets, a joke with all these things with quarterbacks and coaches and everything else, and they took the division after finishing last 3 years in a row. So this shows you coaching. It's not there. So now he doesn't even have that anymore. He can't sit to Woody and say, oh, the Detroit way, look at Detroit. And Woody looks and says, Detroit sucks this year. They're garbage. So what the hell are you telling me?
Now he's going to talk about Sean Payton and shit. Dude, thank you for calling in, man.
I know you got to go things. But anyhow, that's my take on it. So my hope is maybe Spielman, maybe he's got contacts. And again, it could be he walks away and says, fuck it, I'm out of this shit all. I don't know. But that's the one hope I'm holding on to. It's a dark horse, but it's a lot better than trying to draft the number one quarterback. It's a lot better as an instant fix to this shit. It's not.
Happy New Year, man.
Take care.
Have a good night. Dude, the thing is, you can literally see the frustration on the callers' faces. You can just see you could see it on Nick and Jack and everybody. Best, you could see you can just see it's just breaking everybody. And again, to me, it's nothing to do with tanking. I have no problem with tanking. The problem I have is that we know what we're tanking for isn't ideal because we don't have the staff place to handle it. The decision makers are a problem.
Yeah, 100%. And I think he made a couple great points. We talk about this a lot with the elite quarterbacks in the NFL are able to elevate those around them. The really good coaches in the NFL, even if you have a little bit of a talent discrepancy, they're able to elevate the team schematically, coaching wise. This staff has shown you no reason to believe they could do that. Instead, they've taken good talent and turned it into lesser talent. I mean, backup talent really is what they've turned it into. Like these guys went from Pro Bowls, all pros to being average at best, really. And I think the Detroit example as well is a great point. Everybody talks about, oh, this is the Detroit plan. The Detroit plan doesn't look as good right now as it did last year. We're going to go all in on Glenn for 2 playoff appearances. He loses his coordinators. Not that Tanner Engstrand's ever going to get a coaching gig, but in that world, it would be lose your coordinators and then you're going to struggle. Like that's the Detroit plan now.
Then the Detroit plan benefited by Jared Goff playing out of his head, where he was like the bridge guy, and he ended up sparking something surrounded by all world talent.
and a great offensive coordinator. Tanner Engstrand is not, and that's, I think you mentioned that as well. Like Tanner Engstrand, if he was so good, why didn't Detroit hire him as the OC? He was there.
Well, if he was so good, why would we be seeing more out of Breece Hall, Mason Taylor? Like how many games do you walk away like the I keep going back to this. The announcers are on TV like the Jets are among the league bottom in screen passes and play action pass. Like screen passes, every team uses them. Like that's like your bread and butter to get your quarterback going. The easy yards, get to 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. Like it's just I can't.
They can't execute the screen pass. They can't execute play action. They're terrible defending play action.
Can't pick up the blitz.
Nope. They can't blitz.
They can't.
They don't do
blitz.
anything well.
And they do blitz. It's televised. They know it's coming, so it's not getting anywhere.
Exactly. Anything that is successful in modern day NFL football, the Jets don't do well.
You know what, Bubs? The last 2 shows, I'm proud of you. You came out of your shell. I think they broke you finally.
Yes. Yeah, they're such a disgrace. Honestly, I've been going around like all day, like Glenn has to be fired because I just know it's coming. I know it's coming that this time next year, and to all the comments that are, oh, you guys aren't, not real fans, whatever. Like, please come back next year, December 29th. I guarantee you this team's going to be 4 wins and Glenn's going to be fired and it's going to be a train wreck.
We're just delaying the inevitable. That's all it is. It's so obvious at this point. Yeah. And like the other thing too is, a question. How did you do on your finals?
No, I did well. Yes.
See, there you go. But it's so funny because
that's for sure.
after last week's show, I got so many text messages like, bro, Bubs is crazy. Bubs unleashed. Like that. I'm like, this is what this team does to you. It literally breaks you. The most positive of fans, the most optimistic of people, they wear you down. And you have all these bad memories stuck back in your head. Like, I remember this. Wait a minute. I'm seeing this again. That's how come I know. Like, I've seen this before. We really just went through this. So
it's the same garbage. It's insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's what it is.
So we've talked about losing for the last hour and 45 minutes. One person wants to talk about winning. He has one of the best teams in football. Ain't this some shit?
Right.
Happy New Year, Jose.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're miserable and you're happy.
I wasn't happy this morning when I woke up and watched that Jets game.
Oh.
Should have went back to bed.
On the opening drive, Stevenson breaks two tackles.
Yep.
And the safety's just standing there, waiting for him to come to him. Go make the fucking tackle.
Bro. 10 minutes into the game, it was a 14-0 game was over.
And I said this last week. Aaron Glenn should have been fired last Sunday. Forget yesterday.
So we have a question, Jose. Did you win your fantasy championship?
No.
Me neither. I lost too.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose it too.
I got blown out. My team completely did a no-show. I was like the Jets yesterday. My team was terrible.
I forgot to switch my lineup at the last.
Oh, you didn't switch your lineup, dude? That's some rookie stuff.
It was Christmas.
You gotta stop partying so much, man. You gotta get the priorities straight.
Christmas, fantasy, Christmas, family, fantasy football.
That sounds like excuses to me. So what seed are the Seahawks going to be?
5.
5.
Yeah.
You think they're going to lose?
Yes.
Right now the Rams are getting thumped 21-0.
Yeah, Stafford 2 picks. Jeez.
Kirk Cousins auditioning for the Jets right now.
So, like I said in the comment section of your video, if they fire Aaron Glenn, which I doubt.
I doubt it too.
By the way, Aaron Glenn, you sound like a new A neutered dog, you bitch.
He does sound like a neutered dog. That's a good one because he does. He had a lot of bark, and now he's got no bark and no bite.
And no balls.
And no balls. So Jose, what's your very early Super Bowl prediction right now? Who do you think goes to the Super Bowl?
Seahawks, Patriots again.
Seahawks, Patriots. Interesting call. Jose, have a great New Year, man. Good talking to you.
Love you guys.
Love you too, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Think about this. Jose's been calling it for so long. We talk so much trash to him. Look, his team is completely rebound. New coach, new scheme. 13 wins, 14 wins. Jesus.
With Darnold and JSN, there is an alternate universe where JSN and Darnold are still Jets.
Bro, everybody turns it around minus the Jets. Everybody.
Yep. 15 years.
Well,
I
like 15? To say, first of all, want to wish all of you and your families a very happy and healthy New Year. Thank you for sticking with us through this absolute disaster. And if you want to see a really fun argument, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on Jet Central's channel, things are going to get ugly because he's trying to embrace, well, it's just tanking. And now it'll be war because it's just we're not going to get along. It's not going to happen, Bubs. I'm telling you now, we're not going to get along at all.
Yeah. The tank route. I have one more thing here. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh. He's got props. He's got props.
I broke this out last year. Might be time to break it out again. Just my parting message to today's show. If I get the bag open.
This is where we're at. I gotta take a picture of this. This is where we're. Hold on, keep it up.
Blow it up.
Hold on. I gotta get a picture of this. This is where we're at right now.
Nothing else needs to be said.
This is where we're at.
Keep this bag on my head and keep this bag on my head until Glenn's fired.
This is what we've come to. Bubs, I love you, man. Oh, it's just we're hosting. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Have a very happy and healthy New Year. We'll talk to you next week. Oh my God. It's just killing me.